So we are going to be doing some flexbox styling, and you kind of got a little taste of that earlier, so you know that it's pretty powerful code. It's part of CSS3, and it does make laying out your web pages much easier, and it doesn't require as much code. So you can see that for this first one, we have some pretty unimpressive content here. And so if we look at the source code, you can see we've got some boxes. We have a parent box, and we need to add some styling for this. Now with a flex box, you need to have a parent container, and then you need to have items or children. That's how they're referred to. So we've got a parent here that we need to style, and then we're going to have 4 children inside our parent box, okay? This is what we're going to end up with. So how do we get there? We need to style the parent box, and the way that you indicate that this is a container is you have to use the display property with flex or inline flex that we used earlier. And you'll notice that I added WebKit. Some of the browsers, Safari right now, don't recognize Flexbox yet. It used to be much worse. It used to be a larger number of them. Now it's just Safari has some issues. So WebKit, prefixing the commands with WebKit enables that browser to display Flexbox, and all the other ones are going to use this next CSS property, but for Safari or other ones that don't recognize the Flexbox, this WebKit prefix enables them to display it. Now, you might be thinking, oh, what a pain to have to prefix everything with WebKit. I'm going to tell you it used to be worse, because when Firefox did not understand CSS3, you not only had to prefix with WebKit, but you also had to prefix with Moz. And for a while, Opera didn't understand it, and that had a separate prefix. So it used to be a bigger pain than it is now. Okay, so basically, display creates the parent container, and you're going to use flex or inline flex. And then you have to specify the children, and you do that with flex. And you can actually just have a 1, or you can give it multiple settings. Now, if you give it multiple settings, how it interprets this is flex grow, this is flex shrink, this is flex basis. And so basis is your starting size. But with a flexible container, the size is relative. Okay, chances are it's not going to stay that size. So it's kind of a relative size for it. Shrink would make it smaller, and grow makes it bigger. And 1 is the default setting, so it would be at the defaults with a starting size of 200 pixels. That would be our first box. Our second box, we've got 1 for grow, 5 for shrink, which means it's going to be smaller, okay, and starts at 100. And you'll notice that box 2 and 3 are the same, so I would expect them to be the exact same size. Box 4 also has a shrink value of 5, but it has a grow value of 5, so I would expect that one to be a little bit larger. Okay, so that's kind of what those values are doing. Setting the initial size, indicating if it should grow or if it should shrink, and the amount it grows or shrinks by is relative. Okay, so that's how the boxes get sized. And all this is doing, in case you're wondering, this is a combinator. So basically this is saying inside our parent box ID, if we have any divs that are one level down, apply this formatting. Well, it just so happens, here's our parent box ID. All of the divs are one level down, so they will have a height of 145, margin of 5, and a color of light sea green. So that is how they are getting the height and the color. Okay, it's from this little section here. And it's from the flex statements that we are getting kind of the widths of each one of these. So this started at 200. Okay, and then we said we didn't really want it to shrink or grow. The others have a shrinking factor set to 5, so they are going to be smaller, box 2 and 3. Box 4, you'll notice, is just a tad bigger because it also had a grow set to 5. Okay, and these are all within a container, so their size is constrained by the size of the parent. So if we increase the size of the parent, these would increase accordingly. Okay, so they will increase or shrink depending on the size of their container. That's kind of how it works.